Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday night. We are back here at Bear Gym, where tonight the Boyertown Bears basketball team will be taking on the Phantoms of Phoenixville. Here, as always, with your play-by-play is Jim Towers, along with the greatest color man in the nation, the Reverend John T. Kaleda.
I'm happy we got to all 50 states this time. I'm happy you scoured Alaska and Hawaii and figured out there was no one better.
It only took, half the season? Well, tonight we're facing a Phoenixville team again. This is going to be some conversation about what we've been saying all season, the other side of the conference. Phoenixville comes in from doing really well. John, what did you say the record was?
Like 8-4 right now.
And always a high-tempo team, always pretty aggressive with their play. And it seems that this evening, one name we'll be saying a lot of, John, is Xavier Mayo.
Well, something that Coach Burnett has been able to do at, I think it's probably his 5th or 6th year now at the helm. Something that he's always been able to do very, very well is develop individual players. When he took over the program, he took over a program that was, I think they were mediocre 500 if I remember correctly. And in his first year, he had a kid named Christian Kelly who was averaging darn near 20 points for the entire season, and you tried everything to stop him, and you just couldn't. And he ended up having a very successful career, went on and played some Division II basketball. And it was evident right away that Eric Burnett was able to really do some new things and instill some things in his team to help develop these individual players. So I'm not surprised that they have a guy who's top 3 in the league at scoring, at Xavier Mayo, who has, I think it's like 15 or 16 points a game. There's Gabe Massenberg, who when I was walking down to get the lineups, that is a tall individual right there. I saw the name on the side of his shirt and said, "Ooh, he's going to be physical down there." And he's around 13 or 14 points a game. So it's not surprising to me that he's done a good job in developing these scorers, because he always does. But the good thing for the Bears is that they have experience shutting down top scorers in the league with their zone and the things that they're able to do in their 2-3 zone.
And joining Mayo and Massenberg in the starting lineup tonight will be Jake Steck, Jackson Corando, and Max Labisky. On the Boyertown side, coming off a really fun game Tuesday night, you will hear us probably talk a lot about what happened Tuesday as they hosted O&J. Those of you who missed that or weren't really paying attention to this exciting boys team this year, they had a couple rough games where they lost 2 of 3 on last-second three-pointers, one of them from half court. And if you missed that, you can see it on Twitter, but basically watch the tape of Christian Leitner in 92. Basically put that at midcourt, and you get what happened to the Bears losing in regulation. They faced O&J Roberts on Tuesday night, a team they beat by 30 down on the Wildcats court. They came back here, had a big lead going into the fourth quarter, and it was an unbelievably exciting fourth quarter to watch. Boyertown came out with a 5-point win, so this team is riding some fairly decent play, even with a couple disappointing losses, John.
And what they have done well in these games, aside from that fourth quarter where really it was just one player beating him. I mean, Tyler Rossi for O&J had, I think it was 5 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. They just couldn't contain him. Everybody else they did fine against. The big consistent thing for them has been their defense and their 2-3. They have some length up top in the 2-3. They have Eddie Higgins, who's been a revelation this year on defense and offense for the Bears. They have him plugging up the middle, and they have a good rotation of guys to come in and fill those spots. So that play on the defensive side of the ball has always been great for them this season, and it's a matter of figuring out who's going to do the scoring for them on a night-to-night basis. We know that Jake Kapp and Eddie Higgins are probably going to lead the way. Zach Ward has come on very strong these last few games. Richard Black was held scoreless the other night because he is certainly somebody who can be a big part of a game if he gets his three-point opportunities. So I'm curious tonight, interested tonight to see if the Bears are able to involve other guys besides Ward, Higgins, and Cap, and get a couple of looks for guys like Richard Black, for for Roman Marinello, for other players who can knock down outside shots for them, because they did not get those opportunities last game. We'll see if Coach Miller decides to run something for them, and we'll see if they can keep it going and stay in the win column.
And we'll see what they can do against this Phoenixville team. Predominantly defensively, Boyertown's been playing that 2-3 zone. It's been doing fairly well for them. And John, looking out here at the warm-ups, one thing I'm pretty excited about, looks like Phoenixville's wearing black uniforms. It's going to be nice to not have to look at purple.
I am sure that I think the baseball team still does wear purple, but if I were them, I think I'd go with the black uniforms too. More imposing.
We will be back after the national anthem and starting lineups right here on the NFHS network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boyertown for tonight's pack contest featuring the visiting Phoenixville Phantoms and your Boyertown Bears. And now, would everyone please rise, remove your hats and stand as one nation as we salute the United States of America and the troops who defend our freedom with the playing of our national anthem. And now for our starting lineups, first for visiting Phoenixville. Up first, a senior number 3, Jake Steck. A senior number 21, David Mayo. Senior number 34, Gabe Messenger. Senior number 41, Jackson Corrado. And sophomore, number 44, Max Lewis. The Phantoms are joined by Ed Burnett, assisted by George Justice, Harvey Richardson, and Chris Bradley. And now, for your Boyertown Bears. First, senior number 13, Roman Marinello. Our junior number 10, Zach Wall. Junior number 33, Richard Black. Our junior number 23, Jay Cat. And senior number 42, Eddie Higgins. Well, there's the first one, Travis Miller, assisted by Mark Marinello, Ron Romanello, and Shane McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the game.
Lineups are done, anthem is done, and we are getting ready for the tip. And John, you were right.
Did you see?
Gabe Massenberg
Hey, and
he looks like an athlete. We'll
yes,
just say that.
Yes, he does. And the saving grace here for the Bears is that Look who he's matched up against.
Yeah.
The guy, the probably the one guy in the league, aside from maybe Cole Hargrove from Athackton, who can body up and be physical with pretty much anybody. So it should be a nice battle between Higgins and Massenberg tonight.
And I do have to say, it does look like Higgins may have him a little bit in the upper body category. Massenberg might have a bigger wingspan. That's an early three-pointer there for Jackson Corando. Corando, tomato. We'll figure that out. Phoenixville coming out early in a full-court press. They have a skip over to Marinello. They weren't able to find him. That's going to go out of bounds. And Phoenixville's going to try to build into this early 3-0 lead less than 30 seconds into the game.
You know, it looks like Richard saw Roman over there, but you know they're so used to putting the ball inside to Eddie Higgins. He probably felt like, well, let's get Eddie a touch early, but probably the right play was to skip it over to Roman and see if Eddie could reverse seal.
Corando again on the baseline. That one's no good. Richard Black tracks it down. Again, Boyertown on that 2-3. Here comes Zach Ward. They let him inside the foul line. That's no good. Eddie Higgins not able to get his hands on it, but that's knocked out of bounds by Lebisky. Boyertown will retain possession under the basket.
Zach has made more of those shots in the last 2 weeks than he has missed. If he can continue to get that shot, he got to keep it.
Swing it around. There's Cap in the corner, unable to get it to him. That would have been an opportunity there for Boyertown. Nice hands there by Corando. John, I think I'm going to call him Coranda. Just all alternated, so that way I'll be right 50% of the time.
Well, that's fine. You know, it's kind of makes it more interesting for our viewers trying to figure out what the heck's going on. That's good.
Ward again from the elbow. Higgins, great rebound amongst 3 black jerseys. So Phoenixville early in a 2-3 zone as well. Playing it very similarly to Boyertown, extending those 2 high players, pressuring it at the spike line. Is there another name for that spike line? Is it the volleyball line?
I like you calling it the spike line. For me, it was the I'm in range line when I had the ball. But
Zach Ward doesn't miss his third opportunity. He took 3 shots from just around the foul line. His third one converts. So Phoenixville able to get it into the high post. This time it was to Lebisky. His shot's no good. Bounced around. Boyertown rebound. They're going to be able to take the lead if they can convert here. Here's Jake Cap with a 3. Once again, hits a lot of the rim. Unable to convert.
He's right there. He's right there. Keep on shooting. He's fine. I do like what Boyertown's doing, putting Zach Ward in the middle of that zone. Gives you a passer, gives you a scorer in there. I like that.
There's a step-up three-pointer by Mayo. And here comes that trap again. Boyertown able to break it. Cap's wide open this time, and he nails it. Jake Cap takes a great opportunity coming off that full-court pressure, finds an opening, and they're still down 1-6-5.
Phoenixville does seem to be looking to pressure every time down the floor, but the Bears are doing a nice job staying calm with this pressure. They're on Jake Cap, and Jake doesn't seem too fazed by it, so I'm kind of hoping that they continue the pressure early in the possession. The Bears have struggled offensively, so let's speed things up and see if they can get some easy shots. If they can break this trap, I'm fine with it.
Phoenixville working it around, trying to find that high post. They don't. Looks like we have a kick. And Phoenixville will keep possession. John, it looks like Xavier Mayo went to the Kaleda School of Shooting. He's squaring up every time he gets the ball, regardless of where he is on the court.
That's what shooters do, man. That's what the good ones do. Always looking to put it in. Oh, boy.
And that's a really easy layup off of that inbounds pay from Corando. They're up 3, 8-5. Break the press once again. Good recovery there to get to Jake Cap. He goes in baseline, tries to get it over to Higgins. A little bit too much loft on that pass, able to knock it over. And here comes Mayo again. That one's long. Higgins, another strong rebound. There's Higgins. He's going to use his body. Unable to get that one. Boyertown getting some nice looks at the hoop. Not a very good percentage yet, but still getting good opportunities. And that one goes in. Second three-pointer of the game for Corando. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Phoenixville up 11-5.
Well, the Bears' strategy that they've used in other games, which is to take out the other team's leading scorers and let other guys beat them. Aside from this layup right there from Mayo, they're not allowing easy shots for him, but they're leaving open somebody who's hit a couple of threes here. So good timeout here by Coach Miller. They have to adjust. They have to locate guys who are beating them right now and try to make sure they're doing a better job identifying who the shooters and scorers are.
Coach Travis Miller calls his first timeout, 32nd timeout. He's down 8 right now. 13-5, 3:46 left in the first quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow you can spend your whole day watching Boyertown basketball. We have girls versus Wyomissing, JV at 11:30, varsity 12:45. And in the evening, the boys are going to be hosting Pencrest, JV at 5:30, varsity at 6:45. So enjoy your Saturday on the NFHS network, watching some Boyertown basketball. We'll see what they can do. Phoenixville in their 2-2-1, not putting a lot of pressure in the backcourt. That almost just seemed to be a we're still here full court. I won't even call it a full court press because really wasn't any press to it. Marinello off the Higgins screen. His 15-foot jump shot goes in and out. John, that's about the fourth shot for Boyertown that really rolls around the inside of that rim. Can't find the bottom of the net.
That's a good shot. Roman did exactly what he's supposed to do there. Coming off that screen, the defender chose to take away that three-point pass. Take that shot. It's a good shot.
Mayo's is no good. Again, Eddie Higgins really doing a great job on the boards early in the game. Using position, using his body. I believe that's his third or fourth already. And we're just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Phoenixville again working that 2-3 zone. Boyertown trying to find the seams. They find Zach Ward. He's long. There's Higgins again. He's able to convert that one. Eddie Higgins, it seems with the way Boyertown's shooting right now, he's going to have to do it if Boyertown's going to have a chance.
Well, they also need to make sure they're looking to get him the ball down low. They haven't been looking to get him the ball. They're running a nice little wheel up top, which allowed Zach Ward to get open. But you still need to remember that Eddie Higgins has been dominant the last couple of games, and you gotta see if you can get him the ball down low. And if he's being fronted, this is something that teams really don't do a lot. If he's being fronted, great, reverse the ball. And Eddie, just hold your position and see if you can get a reverse seal. Stay on that block and keep the guy right on your backside and get the ball. We'll see if the Bears can figure it out down low.
Zach Bruni into the game for Phoenixville. They got a trap in front of the Phantom bench. Ward skips over to Marinello, finds Higgins. He had an opportunity there. Unable to get it. I think he just wanted to pad his rebound stats. Short for Cap on the three. He follows his own shot. And again, I guess this happens for teams sometimes, John. They're just not really getting things to fall early, but they're still in it. Ugh. And there's Marinello, but Cap with a rebound. He's going to get a three-point play the hard way. Jake Cap with the rebound and the putback. We'll see if we can make it a three-point game.
Bears are executing. They're just executing right up until the finish time. You know, they're getting the shots they want. They're getting some offensive tips and offensive rebounds down low. Thankfully, they were able to get this three-point play, and they'll trade 3 for a 2 here. So they're staying in the game. The shots will start falling. They just need to keep on doing what they're doing. They're not doing a bad job here. Just keep on executing.
Down 3, 13-10. There's a three-pointer there from Steck. It's no good. Possession of Boyertown. 1:23 left in the quarter. As the, let's see here, 18-person student section on what looks like neon night cheers them on from the Bear Den. You know, it's nice to have the fans back, John, but one thing I miss is the ecstatic student sections that we used to have when it was really wide open with fans.
Oh, sure. There'd be, and each year you had to depend on that junior or senior who really got into it. They'd go on the TV news, they'd rile everybody up, you know, they'd get everybody going. But I'm liking the theme nights. Theme nights gets people out. Neon night, I wouldn't be able to come to the game. I have nothing neon. I live in grays and browns and blues.
Well, speaking of seniors, was that Leo Egby front and center?
And he's the one.
Yeah.
He's it this year. He is that energy guy who's able to get people out to the games during volleyball matches in the fall. Whew, he was awesome.
Phoenixville able to capitalize on a trap. They're going to foul Mayo with 39.4 left of the first quarter. He's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, so aside from the couple of steals he's had up top, they've kind of kept him out of the flow in the half court offensive game. Jake Kapp is doing a nice job handling the pressure up on the wing. I would park him at one of those wings, get the ball to him, and then everything's just going the Phantom's way right now. But Jake Kapp's doing a great job handling pressure. Give it to him. Give it to his side. Let him decide what to do with the ball. And then if you have numbers, go attack. If not, set your offense up.
Xavier Mayo's got a nice pair of shoes too.
Look at Stex too. There's a lot of colorful shoes down there.
I guess they knew it was neon night.
Oh, there we go.
Mayo converts his 2 foul shots, 5-point lead now. 34 seconds left. A little more pressure this time from Park Valley, Phoenixville. They trap in the corner. Skip pass eventually gets to Marinello. Richard Black all alone at the top of the key. Defense is able to recover. Looks like Phoenixville back in a man-to-man now as the quarter comes to a close with under 10 seconds left. Zach Ward looking for an opening. Step back 3, just short. Richard Black was almost there to pick it up. And Boyertown's going to end the quarter down 5, 15-10. John, I think this is just going to be a matter of, for Boyertown, of just keeping up that defensive pressure, trying to limit the Phantoms, and just hoping and praying that their shots start to drop.
So, and the last thing you said there, certainly. They're getting the shots they want. Zach Ward and Jake Kapp right there just ran a little screenplay where Jake is going to pop out after he sets that screen and hope that his guy goes over to help on Zach Ward. Zach, again, like we said, did the right thing. He was open. His man went and helped out on Jake Kapp, so he should take that shot. They just have missed, what do you think, 3, 4, easy looks, and we'll say easy's relative. I mean, easy for me, Jim. Maybe not for the average basketball player, but still, I mean, they've missed some opportunities here that we've seen them make in the past. So, I once again, I'll say I'm not upset that the Phantoms are pressuring them. I know that they've lost the ball a couple of times, but I think if the Phantoms continue to pressure and the Bears can just get the ball to their ball handlers on the wing and not stand still and cut, I think they'll be okay, and that might help their offensive output today.
So Phoenixville will have the ball to start the quarter. Each team with only 1 team foul. Has been a relatively clean game so far, which is nice to see. Boyertown will set up in their 2-3 zone right now, all underneath the 3-point line. And we're underway. I guess Mayo's not a shooter, John, because you would have taken that.
There's a bunch of times you can say that in the game. John, you would have shot that. Now, would I have made it? Different story.
Yeah, well, that's why I said shot. There he is, squaring up again. And he'll take that one and nails it. Xavier Mayer doing what he does.
Got a little curveball action on that shot there. It didn't. That must just be the way he shoots the ball. I thought off his hand, he maybe it was tipped, or maybe he just kind of fumbled it out of his hand. That looks like how he shoots.
Great seal on the low block by Eddie Higgins. Looked like a clean block to me by Gavin Maddon. His way looks like he got him with a little body from behind. So Eddie Higgins will go to the line to shoot 2. Looks like Xavier Mayer is trying to get some advice from the ref. Should I move over here and shoot? Should I go over there and shoot?
Where do you think I can get my next steal? Oh, right there? Okay. Because he has a couple already.
Higgins misses the first. and able to convert the second. Boyertown now down 7. Xavier Mayo out of the game right now for Phoenixville. Certainly left with Corando, though. And there is Zach Bruni. He hits a 3 from the corner. That's 5 3-pointers so far for Phoenixville on the game.
The supporting cast is doing their job for Phoenixville right now. Higgins, I think, is going to want that one back and just go up strong with it and not try to, do anything in the air. But supporting cast right now is outplaying the guys on the floor for Boyertown. So you hope that kind of tapers off a little bit here. But they're keeping Mayo and Massenburg off the scoreboard there. But the other guys have come to play.
Colin Eisenhart checks in the game. A little bit more size for Boyertown. This is going to swing to Cap in the corner. He'll take that. Nope. Good recovery there from Phoenixville. That was Justin English able to get there to the corner. Phoenixville section starting to get into it a little bit. Sensing a decent lead right now. Ryan Tinney also into the game. Great little shuffle pass by Jake Cap to Eddie Higgins. He's unable to handle it, so he kicks it out to Eisenhart, who's unable to handle it. And Phoenixville tried to build on this 10-point lead, 6:15 left in the half.
Tell you, Jim, you said about the foul situation, and the referees are letting a lot go here, but watch for the body contact. There's a lot of contact on just drives to the basket here. Jake was chipped off his drive there a little bit, so much so that I thought it was probably enough for a foul to be called on the floor, but referees are letting that go. So in that case, you have to adjust and you have to make sure that you're dealing with that pressure and with that physicality, which is something that we know Eddie Higgins can do it. Can the rest of the Bears rise up to the occasion?
Ben Smith now into the game. Looks like he's running point for Phoenixville. Coach going a little deep into his bench here. There's Bruni in the middle. Nice rebound by Eisenhart. And looks like Phoenixville in a man-to-man. Nope, they're staying in a 2-3. Kinney tries to get it over to Cap in the corner. Would have liked to see a chest pass there. Get it to him a little bit quicker. Right, John? Chest pass around the perimeter. Bounce passes to the block, right?
Not necessarily, Jim.
Oh, come on.
Listen, I have gone to plenty Reading Central Catholic games where all they did was bounce pass out there. And Coach Snip Esterly, and I'm going to get a text from Coach Ludwig about this, who I think is tuned in. Coach Snip Esterly, the legend, who had his team be bounce passing around the perimeter. He was rather successful.
Jake Cap from right in front of the Phoenixville bench. He's not going to get that yet. Colin Eisenhart kind of went over the top there. I agree with that call. Chest pass around the perimeter, bounce pass to the block.
What if their hands in the way, Jim?
Well, that's different, John.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Here's another three-pointer, and Phoenixville is finding everything. There's Jackson Corando, his third three-pointer of the game, and Travis Miller is going to call a timeout.
Well, Coranda has been a huge reason why Phoenixville is up by 13 points here. I mean, take away just 2 of his threes, and it's a whole different ball game here. So once again, we said that the Bears do a very nice job of keying in on certain players and making the supporting cast do something. And Phoenixville supporting cast is just raring to go tonight. They have everything. They're playing with energy. They're making their shots from the outside and inside. They've taken care of the ball for the most part. They played a pretty solid game so far. So not out of it yet, though, for Boyertown, because their defense, the way they play that defense, they do force teams into low percentage shots, and three-pointers a little bit more lower percentage than a layup and then something in the lane. So for Boyertown, they just got to keep plugging away. They can't let this get any more than a 13, 14-point lead here for Phoenixville. Can they keep it there? Can they take a little bit away before halftime, keep this manageable before they get into the second half, and then hopefully some of these guys for Phoenixville cool off.
And John, looking at the book right now, if we were able to getting a little staticky there, aren't I?
Think your foot's on the wire there, Jim.
If we were able to put a stat up, we would put a stat up that with 4:42 left in half, Boyertown as a team has 11 points and Coranda has 11 points.
We do need a telestrator up here. What do we have to do to get a telestrator and all that cool stuff?
Talk to the athletic director.
Get paid as much as Tony Romo?
Yeah. Tinney around to Ward. His three-pointer's no good. Higgins gets it amongst 4 black jerseys this time, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Really still haven't been able to get him involved in the offense other than an offensive rebound where he has to do it himself. Certainly they need to make sure that they're looking for him down low. And like I said, if he's not open on one side of the floor, that doesn't mean you just forget about it and then reverse the ball and then just worry about a three-pointer. There's other ways to get these big guys open. You can still screen a zone. You can block screen that zone. You can have him try to reverse seal his guy. Just have him crack right there on that middle guy in the 2-3 and just put his arm up where he wants it when the ball gets reversed. Just stay there and seal the guy. There's other ways to get him open. We'll see if the Bears can figure it out.
Boyertown down 11 right now into the paint. Coranda again. He's going to try for another 3 points.
Jackson Coranda, I'm on Twitter here. He just shot up 200 spots in the rankings for prospects for college right now because of the first half he's having. I think Mike Krzyzewski just retweeted something about him. My gosh, this kid. Oof.
Coranda puts another one down. Now a 14-point lead. So you'd think here with just under 4 minutes left in the half, Boyertown has to do something to try to stop this bleeding. A little behind-the-back pass to Jake Cap in the corner. That's not going to get it done. John, a little shout-out to my oldest Jimmy. He's up listening and watching with his roommates. Joe's up there, probably Lefty and Quaid and Barczyk. So a little shout out to them as Massenberg gives a shout out to Eddie Higgins by rejecting his shot out of bounds.
Last time we had a game, Jimmy was listening to the Perk Valley game with his Perk Valley roommate. Did he find anybody on campus who's a Phoenixville graduate?
I don't know. We'll see if he'll text me and see if he can track one down. We'll send him on a little college scavenger hunt. Find a Phoenixville graduate. That one goes off of Massenberg's leg, and Boyertown will get possession.
Yeah, find a Phoenixville graduate. Ask him what Jackson Coranda's kryptonite is, and then see if we can somehow get that here, please.
Jimmy, you have your mission. That foul's on the floor as Jake Cap is cutting to the basket. Still a 14-point lead. 2:58 left in the half. You would think a Boyertown graduate and a Perk Valley graduate could walk around and find a fellow Pac player somewhere.
Everybody wears their high school jackets around. Come on, you've seen it, Jimmy. Go get some.
Marinello passed one up there. I don't know if Roman is known necessarily for his three-point shooting. Higgins trying to get inside. Yeah, there was a little bop.
Yeah, and that's the contact I'm talking about there. And Jake Steck put his hands up like, "What did I do, man? You just pushed a 240-pound kid off of his route to the basket." If I'm Coach Miller, I'm calmly at this point putting something in the referee's ear. That right there, he's thank you. All right, now we're getting it. Maybe he already has said something, but they're all over. They're all over the Bears here, and now. Credit to them if they're getting away with it, keep doing it. But the Bears just got to keep working through it, let Coach Miller talk to the refs, and maybe something will change.
Up to 16 fouls now is Phoenixville, so Boyertown will be at the line for one-on-one next one. Little trouble getting it inbounds. J. Cap able to control it. There's Tinney for three. That is long. Marinello runs down the rebound. He's quickly trapped in front of the Phoenixville bench. Cap will go baseline, dish it off to Higgins, and they're able to convert there at the up and under.
So I'm I'll say it. Marinello got away with something there. You saw Coach Burnett say something about Marinello pushing Jake Steck off the ball as he gets a steal, but can't get it in there. So there's bodies flying everywhere here, lots of contact. Let's just hope that it works out for Boyertown.
In the game, Mayo back in the game, and he puts up a little floater. Nice little shot there from Xavier Mayo. And John, we were at the, I think it was the girls against PJP. We talked about how the entire offense, Jake Cap's three-pointer's a little bit long, were two players. And tonight, Phoenixville's doing the same thing. Mayo and Coranda are their entire offense, with the exception of a three-pointer from Zach Brunei. And there's a long one from Mayo. If he made that, I was leaving.
You know, we've said that a lot. One of these days, it's going to happen, and we're just going to go silent. We're going to have to do it, Jim.
But then you disappoint all your listeners, John.
All right, my mother,
my mother,
my mother, your mother, Jimmy.
Richard Black from three. Finally, we get one. Richard Black with his first basket of the game. And I hate to say it, but cuts the lead to 11. Under a minute left. Phoenixville's going to wait for the last shot. Jake Steck holding it near the midcourt line. They'll start to move now. 43 left. Back to Mayo. This is what you call the basic triangle offense, because they're shaped like a triangle, and they're just passing it back and forth to each other. Student section alive with their clapping, supporting the defensive effort. No, Jake, I thought, had an opportunity for a steal there. Again, John,
Stay
looking
there,
at this.
Richard. Stay there, Richard. Richard, stay there. It's a good screen by Massenberg.
Xavier Mayo throws one up. I think he might have thought there was less time on the clock than there was. Could that have been the student section?
There's Leo Egby in his neon
down?
yellow.
Could they have been counting down 3, 2, 1 when there were 6 seconds left? That would have been effective. Xavier did not look happy. Jake throws one up. That would have been awesome. What did we say Tuesday night, that eventually Boyertown's going to get one of those?
You're going to have to get one, right?
That would have been great. All right, we're heading into halftime. Phoenixville 29, Boyertown 18. For those difficult at math, that's an 11-point lead. 3 timeouts left for Boyertown, 5 timeouts left for Phoenixville. And John, I think really we just mentioned it before the end of the half here. Going into halftime, Coach Miller is going to try to figure out a way to get Xavier Mayo and Jackson Coranda off of the offensive output.
So they've done it. What does Massenberg have? Nothing.
Massenberg, John, don't you listen to me?
I just checking to make sure.
Mayo and Coranda are the whole offense except for Bruno.
So Coranda here, as you look through the stats and you look through other game scores here, you know, he's obviously not one of the consistent scorers for them. It's Mayo and Massenberg who are the ones that are at the top of the league. So right now, Coach Miller, having scouted Phoenixville a little bit more than we did, he's either saying one of two things right now. He's either saying, hey, listen, we have to now change up a little bit to where we have to look to take him away, and we have to, change up our game plan a bit to make sure that Coranda doesn't get these shots off. Or you say, guys, listen, Coranda is not the guy who usually beats teams. I know he had a great first half, but we're going to play the percentages, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing to try to keep, one of Mayo and Massenberg from beating us, and they're doing a nice job with Massenberg. Mayo's gotten a couple of steals and, threw in a three-pointer or two here during their offensive sets. So I'm inclined to think that Coach Miller's going to go with option 2 there and say, hey, listen, they're 2 big guys. They're the ones that we can't have get going. Coranda, we're going to take our chances that he just had a good half, and we're going to hope that he cools off a little bit. And if that happens, if they don't get those big three-pointers this half, Phoenixville, then that might allow Boyertown back into this game. But on the flip side, they got to start making some of these open shots that they've missed in the first half.
John, unfortunately, I did hear from Jimmy, and they don't know the kryptonite. They got Pottsgrove people, no, but no Phoenixville people.
Oh, that's a shame.
They can help us out with. And also, I left out Chuck on the shout-out. Sorry, Chuck. Thanks for listening. As the half-court shot is going on for our halftime entertainment, look at the Boyertown side. 10 points in the first quarter, 8 points in the second quarter. Again, getting offensive output from a variety of players, mixing up the scoring between Ward, Cap, Black, and Higgins. What does Boyertown need to do offensively?
Like we said, Boyertown needs to make sure they're getting Eddie Higgins more involved in the offense, besides just saying, here, please go up and get an offensive rebound and, go try and do something. There's Brandon Shane, it looks like, our starting first baseman, knocking down a half-court shot there. Phoenixville is playing tough on the wings. They're playing physical. They're playing energetic. They're up in the Bears' faces. But what they need to do is realize that if you get the ball to the wing and Eddie is not open, it's not over then. And I think after they see him, against Owen-J, he was open every time down the floor, Jim. They had nobody who could stick with him. I think the Bears are kind of getting into a rut where they see Eddie's not open initially, and now they just forget that he's down there, and they're looking for something from the outside. They need to make sure they're reversing the ball and looking for Eddie, moving from block to block. If he's not open, they have to get somebody down there to set him a screen to get him open, or just allow him to, like I said, reverse seal, keep the guy on your backside, and just keep him right there. Put your hand up towards the basket and ask for the ball, and then hope your guards can get the ball to you.
So we've had one make at half court today from a baseball player. And we'll see if any of these other fine Boyertown ladies can get one. That looked a lot closer than it actually was. John, sometimes this can be more entertaining than the game. And unfortunately, we have seen half-court entertainment more entertaining than some of the quarters we watched. But I think the stat that I'm going to see if I can get a hold of is that I think is making really the big difference so far in this game is the field goal percentage for Phoenixville versus the field goal percentage for Boyertown. And I think that's something that we've said before, shooters shoot. And you just, if you're going to get out of that slump, you just got to shoot your way out. So keep doing what you're doing and let it come to them.
I mean, what do you think? 50 to 30, 45 to 30, something like that right now? It's got to be close to that.
I would venture this. I would be shocked if Boyertown's percentage is above 30.
Yeah. And Jake has had a couple that have rattled in and out. Zach Ward had an open one. Roman had one that rimmed out. Then he passed one up. So you're right. They need to make sure that they're just doing the things that they've done the past few games offensively and getting their open shots. They're executing right up until the finish point, but they haven't been able to knock them down. If they can get Eddie Higgins involved, if they can have guys not do a better job getting open, just have guys finish a little bit better, they're going to cut this lead in half, hopefully, this quarter, and then give themselves a manageable lead to deal with in the fourth. If they can get this thing to 5 or 6 going into the fourth, then they got a realistic shot.
And we'll see if they can do that. We have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left at halftime. We will be back on the NFHS Network. We'll see you for the third quarter. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bear Gym, where we will have the third quarter tip in approximately 30 seconds from now. Boyertown will start the half with possession, and I think as Coach Miller draws up what he wants to see here, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, John, to figure out they need to score, and it would be great if we could do a score and a stop to start this half.
Scoring a stop and scoring a stop. I mean, let's just double that, because then you're in single digits. You're around 6 or 7 points, and then, like we said, that's where you as a team, you feel comfortable with that. If you're down, you feel it like that's manageable. You know, I know as a player, I always looked up at the scoreboard, and if it was double digits, sometimes you start to rush, you start to panic, you start to press a little bit. But if it's single digits, this team has enough shooters, has enough offensive guys on the floor that they can make a run. It's going to be tough, but they have enough if they can get this thing to 6 or 7 here in this quarter.
Phoenixville starting the half in man-to-man, and we're seeing a nice battle between Higgins and Massenberg right now. That'll be something to watch. Higgins steps out from the screen. I don't know if there was a miscommunication. Him and Black were going to the same spot. Higgins tries to roll, but there's a steal, and this is probably exactly what Boyertown did not want, but they're able to not convert. They're going to come back the other way. Jake's got options, steps around the attempted charge, and can't convert the layup. That's the kind of night it's been for Boyertown.
And those are the opportunities. Jake did a phenomenal job getting through that guy. I think it was Steck who was just lined up for a charge. Jake just stepped right. That was a smooth move. Just could not get that thing to go down. Eddie Higgins, great job fighting for it. Foul call. Bears got to take advantage here.
He clearly did not go to the Eddie Higgins school of taking charges. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah,
he grabbed his arm and spun him around.
Those are the hands that were not called in the first quarter. Second quarter, they had a couple of them, but Phoenixville's been doing that all night. And again, if you don't get called for it, keep on doing it. But now, if they're going to get called for those fouls where they have their hands on the Boyertown dribblers, hopefully the Bears can get into the bonus here sooner rather than later.
Phoenixville now back in their 2-3 zone. They get it inside to Zach Ward. Boyertown working inside game. There's a jumper from Ward. Is no good off the front of the rim. Phantoms coming the other way. They had Massenberg cutting into the lane, and he might have broken the rim if he was able to get that off. That's over the back on Massenberg.
And that's great position by Eddie Higgins. When you have a big guy like Massenberg behind you, even if you're smaller, if you do the right things and you use your bottom, you use your bottom half, your rear end to move that guy out, if they go over top of you like that, it's a foul every time. That Higgins didn't get that because, the ref felt sorry for him. He was in great position there, and he earned it.
John, a minute and 30 seconds into the third quarter, and Zach Ward taken out for Ryan Tinney and immediately goes over to the trainer. And he has a shoe off. Maybe getting retaped. Hopefully we can get him back out here as Jake Kapp is going to go to the line to shoot 2.
After his shot that he missed, he did kind of, we'll say, lumber down the floor a little bit. So not having him on the floor is tough. He's their third option. Tinney is certainly a different offensive player than Ward is, but I don't fault Coach Miller for going to a ball handler here with the pressure that Phoenixville has been shown.
Kapp makes 1 of 2 at the line. Good job by Phoenixville on their dribble penetration. Skipping out, still trying to find Massenberg. But there's Mayo. He's unable to get it. Black picks it up. Boyertown down 10. They can go down into single digits. That's going to be offensive. I don't disagree with the call. There might have been a foul before the push from Richard Black, but Richard certainly pushed him there.
And right away when Richard got that ball, if I'm Roman, if I'm Tinney, I'm running right over to it. I'm getting it. There were no numbers. It was like a 4-on-4 situation there. There was no reason to dribble up that way. And Phoenix did a nice job getting that call, and now big bucket for them.
Yeah, Lubisky with a nice job getting position. Massenberg did a good job finding him as well. Here comes that pressure back, and they're going to trap Black, who finds Cap, bounces over to Higgins. Easy 2 points for Eddie Higgins.
See, that's the execution that we saw in the first half a couple times, and that's why I said it's fine. Let them pressure. We'll take those easy layups. It's just a matter of being strong against that trap and then cutting. And Jake did cut right there, and that was a beautiful cut to get that ball. They just can't stand around when they start to get pressure.
And that's a great sign as Carando misses his first shot of the half. Jake Cap just inside the foul line. That's no good. Looks like Zach Ward is all patched up. He'll have a seat and wait for Coach Miller to get him back in the game. Very low scoring half so far. Only 5 points scored by both teams. And there is Zach Ward coming back to the scores table. Oh, we were hoping for one. I don't care who does it, John. It's nice to see somebody throw it down.
Were we hoping for one right there?
Good job by Massenberg. Better passing inside by Phoenixville. They're really doing a nice job trapping up here. Miranda just rips it from Marinello's hands. So he comes back and makes him earn it from the line.
What the Bears did last possession, they got trapped on the wing. Jake Cap went from the bear head and cut right down, right in front of the guy who was getting trapped. He ended up around the end of the volleyball court right there. He made that cut. He was open. They were able to get a layup out of it, and there they had three guys just standing around Roman Marinello, not moving, not cutting. So I don't know if Coach Miller has to draw this up and make them see it on the whiteboard here, but they need people to cut. I mean, I've said that all night. You can't stand. You can't stand against that trap. If they cut, they're going to get easy looks. But when you start standing around and just watching your teammate get trapped, it's bad news.
They called that a technical against Roman Marinello. So that pushes the lead to 13. And Phoenixville will get the ball back underneath their own basket. Try to add to that lead. Smart play by Mayo there. He was kind of in no man's land, decided to let it bounce. Make sure he didn't get any backcourt violation. It's the second time they have a nice little touch pass inside to Massenberg. He's unable to control that one. It's good for Boyertown to be able to not give them. They only gave up 1 point on the 2 foul shots. And Phoenixville unable to convert on the possession from the technical. So what could have been a 4-point swing ends up being only 1. As good a scenario as you can get other than no points. Zach Ward fresh back into the game, working baseline. Can't find an out. Good job by Mayo. But Boyertown will keep possession right in front of their student section. Eisenhardt back in. And Ben Smith into the game for the second time tonight for the Phantoms. John, I guess I got to give them credit. We really haven't said it tonight. We said it a couple nights leading up to this, but best nickname in the pack are the Phantoms as Zach Ward hits a jump shot off the bench.
I would not disagree with that. There's a couple of Vikings. We have a Warriors. The old cliche stuff. Phantoms is interesting, and Eddie Higgins just got away with something that resembles murder down there. He really let Lubisky have it. Lubisky putting his hands up like, where's the call? I don't know.
He finds Ben Smith all alone. There's Lubisky inside the foul line. That's no good. Oh, he might have taken an extra step, did Mayo, but he doesn't get the call, and Massenberg's there for the tip-in. They kept him quiet in the first half. He's off to 4 points here in the second. Still got a 13-point lead. 30-second timeout called by Phoenixville.
Great tip by Massenberg right there. The Phantoms are just just kind of outplaying the Bears when it comes to the play within that 5 to 8 foot range, right around the bucket, right there. I know they've made more 3-pointers than the Bears here, but usually the past couple of games we've seen Boyertown control around the rim, and that's a lot to do with Eddie Higgins. But Massenberg, we said, is a big athletic body in there. Labisky is just as big and physical down there. They're winning those battles down there, not allowing Zach Ward and Jay Cap and even Roman Marinello a couple times as they got to the rim, not allowing them easy shots there, and that's what's making it so difficult for the Bears to finish and keep in this game.
John, do you put ketchup on a cheesesteak?
No.
Okay.
No. Onions, maybe mushrooms, cheese whiz.
Yeah. Craving a cheesesteak. Great defense there from Carano. They're not going to give. This is not the NBA. Sorry, Jackson. Good try.
That might have bumped if he would have gotten that. Heck, that might have bumped Caranda up to like a 3-star, 4-star prospect. Honestly, this game is the one that he's going to send to college coaches if he does choose to try and play at the next level.
Both teams with 3 team fouls. 2:28 left in the third quarter. Caranda faces the hoop. Doesn't do anything. Mayo drives baseline. He's stopped nicely by Eisenhard, but he put his hands on him. Yeah, I don't disagree with Colin there. He comes around, he touches him. Like you said, John, I don't know if I've never been a PIAA ref. Do you think they talk at halftime and discuss how the game was refereed and if they need to make adjustments? Because I agree, they certainly seem like they made adjustments as far as their hand checking.
Maybe, but I don't know. They probably are more excited about the soft pretzel that Mr. Palladino usually puts on their bench when they go into the room.
Long three. Well, he's certainly sending this tape in, is Jackson Caranda.
What a game.
That's his 4th 3-pointer of the game. He's up to 18 points. They find Higgins. He quickly gets double-teamed. Black responds with his own 3-pointer. And a quick timeout from Travis Miller as the lead is still 13.
I wonder if Coach Miller's calling this to set something up defensively here, because at this point you're down by 13. You're close to the end of the third quarter. Playing a zone and sitting back like they have been, and it's not going to get them back in this game any quicker than what they have left. This 9 minutes and 40 seconds of clock time they have left. So maybe look for something here. Look for some sort of a trap in the half-court set. We haven't seen too much full-court trapping from the Bears, but maybe something in the half-court. Maybe he's also drawing up something to do when they get their next offensive possession. Maybe he's smelling a 3-pointer here to try to get this thing to 10. But usually coaches take these timeouts like that on their own made buckets because they want to switch up something defensively and give the opposing team a different look. We'll see what Coach Miller has up his sleeve.
Phoenixville's expecting some kind of full court pressure. They got all 4 of their players here, and they're going to look around and retreat back.
Oh, the chess match. Chess match begins, Jim.
They're setting their 2-3. Looks like they're going to get a little more pressure up top. Richard Black and Roman Marinello playing the top of that 2-3. Seems like Zach Ward is definitely limping a little bit. He doesn't seem as fluid as he usually does. Keep an eye on that as this game continues. Also seems like Boyertown is allowing Labisky to get that ball in the high post. This is the second time they've had the ball with about a minute left. They ran down the clock. I think it was about 50 seconds at the end of the first quarter. This time Mayo's going to move with it. He gets it in the paint. He was in there for about 4 seconds.
Yeah, we have the windows closed up here, but I'm pretty sure I heard it. Coach Burnett yelling at Xavier Mayo to not take that shot, which that would have been huge for Boyertown. That miss plus a make for Boyertown other end would have been a big swing going into the fourth quarter. But Phoenixville, well coached, doing exactly what they need to do here, taking up time. Caranda again on the receiving end of a foul here. I'm telling you, this kid, you can just tell by the way he moves. and handles here. He's what, option 3 for them if we're just going straight by statistics.
Yeah.
Put him on a different team. I would love to see him be option number 1. He's a smooth player here. Handles well, shoots well. Obviously, happy for him to have an opportunity tonight on the big stage here with us to make some plays.
Yes, John, we are a huge stage with our tens of listeners and watchers on the NFHS network. Look at Mayo. That was impressive from Xavier Mayo. Took control with about 7 seconds left. And like we said, what could have been a miss and a conversion for Boyertown cut the lead to 11. Instead, we have Phoenixville going into the fourth quarter up 15.
Well, you go big or go home at this point. It's a shame to say, it stinks when you go and look at the paper in the next morning and you have people from around the league look at teams and you go, look at that lopsided score. But if the Bears continue to play that 2-3 zone the way they have been, you're going to see, I would bet, what you just saw for the last minute and a half here. Phoenixville did a very nice job just putting 3 guys up top against the 2 top guys for the zone and just passing the ball back and forth, running their little version of the wheel like Boyertown does, able to keep the ball away. Why not take 30, 40 seconds off before you get a shot if you're Phoenixville and Boyertown's allowing you to do it? So we have seen Boyertown go man-to-man at times throughout the season. We'll see if Coach Miller does that or like we kind of expected there at the end of the quarter. Do we see some sort of a zone trap where they're in their zone, but they're kind of pushing the issue a little bit, making Phoenixville take quicker shots, see if they can get some quick rebounds and go on the other way.
Phoenixville will get possession of the ball here to start the fourth quarter. We'll see what they do offensively. More interested to see what Boyertown does defensively, like you were saying, John, there at the break. Looks like they are staying in the 2-3, but they are coming out a little higher. Quickly inside to Massenberg. And he's able to find Brunei.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's Ben Smith.
Yeah, I think they have to go man if they want to get some pressure here. They took the zone, and like you said, they just kind of lengthened it a little bit. But what that did to Zach Ward on the opposite side of the court, it made him, be out in the three-point area, not the lane. Perfect time for the cut and the layup for Phoenixville.
Good pressure here from Phoenix. Ben Smith looks like the smallest guy on the court right now, and he was causing all kinds of problems for Boyertown trying to get it across the timeline. Luckily, they were able to keep possession. Looks like we're going to have Ryan Tinney coming in to help with some ball handling. Cap for 3 inside the right in front of the student section is no good. Marinello's 3 is also short, but there's Higgins. Can't convert the layup. John, we said it at halftime, I think if Boyertown is shooting 30% from the field, I think that is a high estimate right now.
This is when you don't like the fact that we have all this technology and you can easily keep track of the shooting charts. Oh, God. The number of circles around the basket that are not filled in on whatever program they use, it's going to be more tonight than it has all year long, and it's going to be frustrating for them because they're getting shots, they're getting looks, they just have not make 3 or 4 of these 10 that I can think of, and it's a ball game, but they just haven't been able to do it.
Try to find Higgins there inside the paint, gets tipped away. So Phoenixville, they are working it around the perimeter, trying to find an opening. They do on the block. Quick kick out. At least somebody from Phoenixville is not going to make a three-pointer tonight. Ben Smith unable to convert. 6:19 left in the game. Boyertown down 17 right now.
What the Bears have not done tonight, they haven't attacked this zone. They've been very okay with just standing out where Roman Marinello was there, 2-3 feet beyond the arc and trying to pass into the zone. They haven't attacked a player. We used to teach, get your dribble, attack a player, go right at him, and then that makes your pass easier wherever you're going. They haven't chosen to do that. They're still trying to hang out beyond the arc and pass, and Phoenixville too rangy, too quick.
14-point game now, and that's twice Phoenixville has come down with a big lead and took pretty much early three-pointers. I think that's something that I would like to see continue, and something I think Boyertown would like to see continue if they're going to have an opportunity to get back into this game. And here comes Black. That's no good. Great rebound there from Corando. Jake Cap steps in front of that pass. Oh,
see, that's,
Eddie had it.
I know we have no angle up here, but man, that looked like he was like Ben Smith was on his arm right there. But again, bad angle up here. Unlucky for the Bears. Another opportunity squandered for them.
Brunei and Massenburg take a seat for Phoenixville. Possession error right now favors Boyertown, down 14. Oh, boy. Lubisky puts it in. Black doesn't like the call. But I think it's a fair foul. Excuse me, English sat down. Massenburg still in the game. And Lubisky will go to the line. Try to convert this three-point play.
Phoenixville, for the most part, has just played a little bit more physical and just finished a little bit better right there. I think I'd be calling a foul on Massenburg right there, as Higgins had good position and he was right over his back there. But that's something that has been called here and there tonight. The referees are kind of letting a lot go and picking and choosing when they want to call something. Thank God that didn't go in, but the Bears need to convert.
Second opportunity he had for a throwdown, and Richard Black throws one down from on his own. Only this time it's worth 3. Down 13 now, chipping away, little by little. Got to start getting stops. And there's one, Zach, where Richard Black goes between Xavier Mayo's legs. We're calling a timeout? How do you get a timeout without possession?
When you're the third leading scorer in the league, get
didn't
those
have
calls.
The ball.
Maybe they talked at halftime after they ate their soft pretzel. They said, "Hey, we gotta give Xavier Mayo some more calls here." I don't know.
Yeah, assistant coach Mike Marinella's over there still asking.
Yeah,
we talked about universal signals. He was making the universal signal for possession.
Now it's. When timeouts used to not be able to be called by coaches, that would have been Boyertown ball right there, or jump ball right there. But Xavier Mayo did a nice job of getting on the floor. I thought Richard Black had him because Richard Black went down right on the floor. I thought had possession of it, but Xavier Mayo did the right thing. He's a good player. He's a heady player. He went down with Richard and didn't just allow the ball to be taken. And because he went down on the floor, that's probably why the referees couldn't give possession away to Boyertown. Had Mayo tried to stay on his feet and rip the ball away, Boyertown might have had more of a case. So once again, Phoenixville just doing more than the Bears. They're a hair quicker to the loose balls. They're a hair quicker to the offensive rebounds for the most part, the defensive rebounds. And man, they've shot the ball much better than Boyertown.
4:24 left in the game. Phoenixville will be going to the line for 1-and-1 on every foul from here on out. Good trap in the corner. Phoenixville starting to pass up those threes, and you know they're working clock when they get the entry pass to the high post and he doesn't even turn around. They
have to go man now. If they keep in the zone, they're just going to waste more time here. I wonder when Coach Miller's going to go man.
Massenburg skips to Mayo. Yeah, this is just running clock. They'll do this for the rest of the game if they can. Marinello finally fouls. That'll be 1-and-1.
So at this point now, and it looks like they were waiting for the ball to get to Steck's hands. there to foul him to kind of reset things for them. I'm sure that he's going to go tell Roma Marinello and Tinney now, okay, go tell them what defense we're in. This is a perfect time for him to change up defenses and to try to get something to put a bit more pressure on those Phoenixville ball handlers.
See if they can get this benefit. They don't. Steck makes the front end. Pushes the lead to 14. And make it 15. Phoenixville staying in their pressure. It's been very successful this quarter, this half. Tinney able to get it across, but it's a trap position. Good job getting that. And that'll be a foul on Coranda.
They really do a nice job rotating on the zone. When you have somebody like Xavier Mayo, who you have the roster over there. I don't know if they have heights there listed, but man, he's got to be 6'3", 6'4" there. I mean, when you have that kind of length up top in that little 1-2-2, 1-3-1 that they're running, it's tough. It's tough to get the ball into your offense. It's tough to get by that trap. So if I were Coach Burnett, I'd be doing the same thing. Use your length and athleticism on traps all game long.
Tinney gives it a try, and his three is no good. They find Coranda backdoor, and he converts. Boyertown now down 17. Jake Cap cuts through everybody, unable to convert the layup, and Eddie Higgins with a foul. Another 1-on-1 at the line for the Phantoms. Just nothing going right for Boyertown tonight, John.
Hey, I'm on Twitter here. I don't know how this happened during the game. Jackson Coranda just signed with Duke. Kid has had a monster game here. Monster game. And if you didn't know, if I didn't have the stat sheet in front of me where it says Mayo and Massenberg are the ones that are, the scorers for Phoenixville, my gosh, wouldn't you think Coranda would be their top option this game? He's done a phenomenal job and has been a thorn in the Bears' side all game long.
Well, more good news, too. He's also a senior.
Yes, true.
Cap again. Just can't get these to convert tonight for Boyertown. Coranda, Maskenberg, and Mayo, all seniors. As Jake Cap will have 2 shots. One more to cut the lead to 16. John, I'm sure you're not surprised to hear I'm craving a cheesesteak and trying to determine if a trip to Philly is in the works for this weekend.
Thought you were going to say tonight. I said, wow, more power to you.
Oh, he took 8 steps. I hope they.
Now here's my question.
He just lost the scholarship to Duke.
Poor Jackson Coranda. I'll take him at Duke. I'll go watch him play some more basketball. Kids had a great game. This is a good player. But hey, when you go to Philly, where are you going?
Steve's Princess Steaks.
Oh, interesting.
It's a good place.
I was introduced to Pat's and Gino's first. That's where I was introduced for my first Philly cheesesteak,
Right.
and
the
then
McDonald's and Burger King of cheesesteaks.
Wow. Okay, so we're not going to get sponsorship offers from them, Jim. Thanks for burning that bridge. But then, I've got into some other places there. Delisandro's and Manayunk.
Oh yeah.
Has been known to be good. I've not tried John's pork yet. John's roast pork, and I've always heard that one's the best.
Well, we've talked about that, haven't we?
I don't know.
I don't know if we have or haven't. John's roast pork apparently is the best sandwich in the city.
Correct.
And there's Coranda padding stats. 2 more. We're just at the 2-minute mark now. And there's unable to keep your hands on that one. And doesn't surprise me for the night Boyertown had had. Sometimes you just don't have it, and it just seems that's tonight for Boyertown.
Cheesesteak seems like a better option to talk about now, Jim. Did you know that a Tony Luke's is at the outlets right now?
No, I didn't know that.
Tony Luke's, which is the closest thing you're getting to a real Philly cheesesteak around this area. Tony Luke's might be, as Jackson Coranda just keeps pouring it on. Gosh, this kid's having a great game. Tony Luke's, because I've had it so much, maybe they're my favorite. I don't know.
Well, the guy that does the Bizarre Foods guy, Andrew Zimmern on the Food Network,
Correct,
as Tinney finds Higgins inside 1:30 to go, he visited John's Roast Pork, and he had the cheesesteak and the roast pork. And for a guy who has been all over the world eating a sandwich from because every culture has their own sandwich, every culture has their own stuffed pasta, he said the cheesesteak was the best cheesesteak he ever had. But then he held up the roast pork, and he said to John, I've been all over the world. This is top 5 best sandwiches I've had on the planet.
See, I got it. I got to try. What is it? Pork, provolone, broccoli rabe?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. As Coranda gets another one from the line.
What's he at, 19? 18, 19?
Double bonus for Phoenixville. I think he's got more than that. Hold on. $26.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, what a game. What a game for him. And, it's easy to get, your eyes light up when you look at the stat sheets. And just recently the Pac-10 website posts all the leading scorers. And, we talked about Mayo and Massenburg to start the game. But, man, if Phoenixville is able to have this kind of contribution on what I would say is an off night for their top 2. If you're looking at just point production, you would say it's an off night for their top 2. If they have this guy, if they have Jackson Coranda just waiting in the wings for an opportunity when those 2 guys don't have it, this team, playing at, what are they, 4A?Maybe.
Yes.
They might have a shot to do something in the districts if they have this much scoring punch in their lineup.
Gavin Matta gets in the stat book with a easy layup. Higgins unable to put back the Richard Black miss from 3. And I think Phoenixville is calling a timeout here after an easy layup from Xander Mayo. Is that going to count?
I think they called the timeout after. I think it looks like a 5-man line change here.
Yeah. And it looks like Boyertown's going to do the same. Emptying our benches for the last 49.5 seconds. 21-point lead for Phoenixville.
What a tough game for Boyertown here. I think they came in with a first quarter that, when you look at the score, you're going to say, wow, they got outplayed. But, man, Jim, you remember that first quarter. They had some shots. They had some looks where if they just made half of the ones that they missed from point-blank range and open three-pointers, it would have been a completely different game. And this is a good Phoenixville team. We've kind of sung their praises all night. But Boyertown had a chance to stay with them. They had a chance to make this a game in the second half. And offensively, they just could not find the rhythm tonight. Phoenixville did a great job taking away Eddie Higgins, who has had himself a nice couple of games here in the past 2 weeks. And the Boyertown Bears just could not figure out a way to get that ball to fall in the hole, whether it was from three-point range or in the lanes. So credit to Phoenixville for a big win for them, and Boyertown's got to regroup a little bit going into the weekend.
I can't imagine Phoenixville's going to put up another shot unless they're all alone. So as it stands right now, John, Boyertown had their highest scoring quarter of the game here in the fourth quarter with 12. But unfortunately, Phoenixville also had their highest scoring of the game with 18. So that does end it. Phoenixville gets out of Boyertown with a 59-38 victory. And Boyertown has a very short turnaround. It's been a busy week for them. Games Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday coming to Pencrest. And I think this is, John, is this one of those times as a coach, do you just go in the locker room and say, we can do a few things better, let's move on? I don't think you really want to dwell on this one too much, do you?
Well, it depends, Jim. It depends on what you've already said to them throughout the season. And Coach Miller is, I coached with Coach Miller for 10 some odd years, and incredibly positive, very well liked by the players. Phenomenal job when it comes to practice and motivating guys. But I've seen him get upset once or twice. And to be honest with you, Jim, I might go the other way on this one. This is a game that we were looking forward to tonight, Jim, because we knew Phoenixville was a strong team from the other side. We wanted to see a really good game. And, it's not like Boyertown quit with their effort or anything. It's not like they, went out there and laid just a total egg. They just, they executed up until the finish and could not get through some of Phoenixville's physicality and some of the traps that they laid on them. So maybe I'm going in there and doing the exact opposite of what you said, Jim. Maybe I'm getting into them a little bit and talking to them and maybe raising my voice a little bit and kind of asking them, hey, what are we? Are we a team that loses this type of game to this type of team by 21 points? Or are we the kind of team that is going to fight through adversity and fight through that physical play in the first quarter? And are we a team that's going to fight through not being able to make shots in the first half and come out and play better in the second? Are we that kind of team or a team, or are we going to go into a shell and are we going to just accept this kind of loss? And maybe there are some more colorful words thrown in there though, but
so you don't think he'll be asking about cheesesteaks tonight either way?
if he has a cheesesteak after the game, it will be because his wife Jill, who teaches with me at Middle School West, will go and get one for him and have it waiting for him, because I'm sure that he's not thinking about food right now. But these types of games can do a couple things for you, Jim. It can just be a throwaway game. You're not worried about it. You move on to the next one, or you use it. You use it to motivate your team. You use it to get in there. To get in their psyche a little bit and kind of use it to keep thinking about, saying, listen, are we this kind of team or are we not? And hopefully the Bears answer that they are not this kind of team and come out on Saturday and lay it to Pencrest, because they need a win after a very difficult couple of weeks here where they've had some tough games emotionally, 1-point losses, and now this one. So they need a big showing on Saturday.
Well, as is the case, Boyertown, another pretty balanced scoring attack. Higgins, Black, and Cap. 12 for Higgins, 9 for Black and Cap. Zach Ward put in 4, and Roman Marinello added 3. I think on the Phoenixville side, this has been the most scoring. I'd have to look back in my Marvel Avengers notebook for other games that I think this is the most scoring that we've seen. Ben Smith with 2, Jake Steck with 2, Zach Bruni with 3, Gavin Matta with 2, Max Labisky with 4. One of the names we mentioned before, John, Gabe Massenberg, only had 4 points. Xavier Mayo put in 16, and we said his name too many times tonight, 26 from Jackson Carando. So, quite an impressive output there from Phoenixville tonight.
Very, very much so. And if you are, and I'm just checking these stats to see, did I miss something here? Did I not see Jackson Caranda's name? So and we don't know anything going on about that team. Maybe he was injured a little bit and just came back. Maybe he's just hasn't, maybe he's been struggling this year and now just had, this is like his coming out party a little bit. But again, to your point about what do you say in the locker room here, I'm looking at a box score here from Pottstown. He had 2, this nights for Jackson Caranda, for him and for Phoenixville. Take it, run with it, enjoy it. He earned it, had a phenomenal game. But if Coach Miller, game planned for other guys and knew that they were going to leave a couple of these Phoenixville guys open because they wanted to take Mayo out of the game, they wanted to take Massenberg out of the game, the fact that somebody who doesn't normally score just dropped 26 on you, that's a huge thing you can talk to your team about. And when I say talk, I mean get at them a little bit and say to them, hey, listen, we're gonna allow this to happen to us, somebody who doesn't even usually score for their team is going to drop 26 on us. No, not going to happen. We have to rethink where we are and who we are and who you are as a player to make sure that we can get better as the season goes forward. So could be a motivator game for the Bears, kind of a reality check for them, but still plenty of season left. Great chance for them to make the district playoffs. Last time I checked, they were around that 24 mark, which would get them in. So still an opportunity here for some big wins throughout the rest of the season to get them into the postseason.
And we'll see if they can continue that on Saturday night, again, as they host Pencrest. And the girls will be taking on Wyomissing here at the gym as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourselves a great weekend. We will see you next time here on the NFHS Network.